Welcome to our advanced Tableau training session. Today, we are delving into a powerful tool that will elevate your data exploration game. Of course, we know how Tableau is very important as far as data visualization is concerned. We'll be looking at an interesting topic on how can I create a search engine with Tableau. Whether you are a seasoned analyst or just starting with data visualization, this session is your ticket to mastering the art of creating search engines in Tableau. Welcome to Miramore Consulting, and you know how we do it here. We will dive into how this works here, exploring and using practical examples. Of course, you know that we always relate all our training concepts to everyday scenarios. And the reason why we do that is majorly for better understanding. With all our live demonstration, taking you through a step-by-step walkthrough on how you will implement whatever you will learning in various scenarios. So to start with, I'll be taking you to Tableau. Don't forget, we are looking at how you can create a search engine within Tableau. So right here, I'm on my Tableau and want to do this here in our Tableau. But first, what is Tableau? We love doing these introductions most times whenever we are getting there on this very tool or any of the tools, just to keep you, afresh. Now, Tableau is a powerful software that turns raw data into what I call visual masterpiece. You know who we call an artist. You know what an artist does. An artist is someone who is creative, who draws, who also paints a picture. Now, just as an artist might paint a picture to tell a story, Tableau, as a data visualization software, helps people I call data analysts, people I call data scientists, people I call data engineers. It helps them to transform numbers and information into interactive, easy to understand charts and graphs. It is also a tool that makes data come alive. How? By revealing insights, by revealing patterns, by revealing trends. This insight it reveals might be hidden in your spreadsheet. It might be hidden in your spreadsheet. If I talk about spreadsheet, I'm talking, for instance, if I open a particular spreadsheet, which we'll be using in this analysis we want to do. For example, this is an Excel spreadsheet, which I would love to showcase in tonight's session. Now, what Tableau does is that it reveals insights that might be hidden in these spreadsheets that we have here. Or we could move over to a database like the MySQL. So whether you're a data analyst, whether you're a business professional, or anyone curious about the stories behind the numbers, I just want you to know that Tableau becomes your paintbrush. Tableau becomes your paintbrush for creating captivating visual narratives. So that's what Tableau is all about. Now we are looking at how we can create a search engine within Tableau. First and foremost, what is a search engine? Why do we need a search engine in Tableau? As a data analyst, why do you need it? What are the advantages of a search engine to you as a data analyst in your work? Where is a search engine useful when it comes to everyday scenarios? Please pay attention. When we talk about a search engine, it's just like a digital detective that helps you find specific information on the internet. For instance, we are aware of the war between Israel and Palestine. So if I'm coming to open a new web page on my browser, this helps me search for a particular information. I could come here and search for Israel versus Hamas war. And you can see 1 hour ago, Israel war on Gaza live, attacks on South Gaza to continue, defense chief, and all of so many information. This is what a search engine does. A search engine is like a digital detective. That's the work of a detective, helping you find specific information on the internet. Now, when it comes to a data analysis tool, what a search engine does is that it takes your query. What do we mean by query? When we say a search engine takes your query, what do we mean by that? Now, I want you to understand something. I hope you all can still hear me. I want you to understand something, that when we talk about the word query, it is like asking a question to a database or asking a question to a search engine. I came here to this web browser and I started asking, give me reports on Israel versus Hamas war. And I can see it brings up such information for me. This that I've just done is a query. So a query is like asking a question to a database or a search engine. It's just like what I could say, a way. It's a way of requesting specific information or data, because these are data based on certain criteria. Imagine you are in a library. For those of us who loves going to library to read books, I am also one of such. I'm an ardent reader. Now imagine you're in this library, and instead of browsing every book, you go to the librarian and ask, can you find me books about space exploration? Can you find me books about Nigeria? I'm a Nigerian. Might be I went to my alma mater, the University of Port Harcourt library, which we call Donald Ekong Library. And I'm asking the librarian who I meet there, can you find me books about accounting? Can you find me books about statistics, about mathematics? What I want you to understand is this. In the world of databases and data analytics, that very question I just asked the librarian is what we call a query. Query is what helps you retrieve the exact information you are looking for from a database. Through my years of experience working as a data analyst, a data scientist, I could move to a database system like the SQL, and you see me coming here to write. For instance, looking under my schemas, there are a lot of databases. There is this one for a federal ministry. Maybe I'm interested in, I studied accounting, so I have that accounting background. I could come in for federal ministry. I've already prepared their ministry expenditure. So I could come in and you see me writing something like me saying, select. I put my asterisk. I'll explain what that means later on. We call it a wildcard. Select from, I say, federal ministry. I use my object browser dots. Ministry what? Expenditure. My semicolon, and then you see me come and execute. What do you notice? Immediately I did that, there's this reaction that brought out that very what? Information. This statement I've written is what we call a query. It is this query that have helped me, or let me say that I've helped this database system to retrieve the exact information I am looking for from this database. So if I'm to ask you all, what's the exact information I am looking for? This is it, ministry expenditure. That's the information I'm looking for. From where am I looking for that information? From federal ministry database. This becomes a query. That's why I say there's this connection. I can't teach you all about how to create a search engine in any data tool without talking about query. No, because query comes into play. That question you ask the search engine for, the database for, that's query. I hope we understand this. So when we talk about search engine, you can see we have even moved to SQL. That's how the spirit flows in our classes. All right. Now, when we talk about search engine, it takes that your question, that's your query. It looks through it and then presents you with relevant results. You can see relevant results this presented me with. So please take notes. That's what search engine is. Why do we need search engine in a data visualization tool like Tableau? Now, imagine, let's go to scenarios. That's what makes you understand these things perfectly. Mostly if you ask those who have graduated from our data academy here in Miramore, they can never forget. Each concept well detailed and well explained by our tutors. Now in Tableau, imagine you have data stored. Now, the search engine here will become your guide to quickly find that exact data or insight you're looking for. And it will help save you of two things. I always mention time you might have wasted and effort you have to put in. This is why you need it in Tableau. As data analyst, one aspect you must be very good at is not just to find or retrieve data. The question that comes in is, the data you're retrieving or looking for, is it the right data? That's where you need a search engine. It's just like, I told you I love reading. It's just like, when we go to the library to search for a particular book, As data analyst, you need this search engine to quickly locate specific data within your data set. So one of the reasons why you need a search engine in Tableau, data visualization tool, is because you want to find the right data. Secondly, you need instant answers. I have this book I'm studying. I'm reading through it. Instead of flipping through pages, imagine I'm able to just type the question and instantly it gives me the answer. You will see it. That's what the search engine here does. It provides quick responses. It helps you as an analyst to make decisions faster. I mean, fast, not just fast, but fast and accurate. What advantages will you derive when you use the search engine feature, which you are going to create on your own here in Tableau? One, scenario analysis. Now, we can't talk about scenario analysis without talking about comparisons. You must compare your scenarios. It's just like, let's say, on this very day, we just passed through the Christmas and New Year season. So you're at home is bored. You decided, oh, let me watch a movie. But you're between making a decision, trying to decide which movie should I watch. The search engine in Tableau allows you as an analyst to compare different scenarios. You see how you want to decide which movie should I watch. That's how it also thinks. It also allows you as an analyst to compare different scenarios, making it easier for you to choose the most compelling data story. Because we'll be doing that here. Not only that, it also helps you as an analyst to do what? To spot trends in your data. It could be that most of our participants, our students, they are from the fashion line. Most of them are always interested in fashion analysis and all of that. Sports, government, corporate, business, organizations, and all of that. Now, just as you might look for trends in fashion, as an analyst, we use the search engine to spot trends in data. And I always say that trend just means data movement. And by the time you're able to do that, you notice that you'll be able to identify patterns. And not only patterns, you also be able to make predictions. It is useful in everyday scenarios. There's no scenario it is not useful. It's useful. For instance, when it comes to sales analysis, which we'll be looking at, could be that we want to check our sales data. As an analyst, you can use the search engine to quickly find information about specific products. Now, let's check this out. We know the first thing to do is to connect to our data. How do we connect to our data? We'll come towards here where we have data tab at the top. It brings us here. We'll come to files. We'll click on upload from computer. It takes me directly to the file explorer. So I'll click on upload from computer. It brings me to my file explorer. I'll go straight to the location, then search for it. So let's say I have this data named Miramore. Clicked on my open. So that's just the first thing I have to do to bring the data here. Now, once I'm done with this, I'm now going to focus on those data points I would like to analyze. On Tableau, we know we have the column shelf and the row shelf. And we know the usage for this, that this is where we tell Tableau how we want our data to be displayed. So what I'm interested in our items and the sales amount. So I could come here and pick item and drop it on our rows shelf, and also pick the sales amount and drop it on our column shelf. So it gives me something like this. We're having each bar. The bars displayed can be recustomized through the show me feature. So if we come down, you can see the show me, depending on how you want to do that. And time to time, I talked about the fact that you can rename the title. Now, to take away the show me, click on it, it takes it away. You can also come down here and rename your sheet. Renaming is just to right click under sheet 1, then you say rename. So you give it a name, could call it sales. So if I'm clicking here, rename, I could give it a name and I call it sales what? Analysis. Okay. Also, our sales analysis by item is displayed this way, which I'm not okay with. I want it sorted from highest to lowest or from lowest to highest. I'll come at the top, click on this button. This button called sorted descending by sum of sales amount within item. And now I know refrigerator is the highest performing, followed by washing machine, followed by air conditioner and others. Now, we are talking about checking our sales data. And I said, as an analyst, you can use the search engine to quickly find information about specific products within this context. It could be time periods, it could be regions, it could be anything. We were given salesperson information on our columns under tables, which means as an analyst, another advantage of or another everyday scenario where you can use this search engine want to create is where we talk about salesperson insights or customers insights or any kind of insight. You're interested in searching for details about your customers' behavior. A company wants you to help them, search details about their customers' behavior, details about their customers' preference, or could be feedback to help improve their services. The search engine is useful in such scenario. It gives you insight. It helps you understand your data. Now, how does it work? How do we gain those instant answers? How do we find the right data? How do we have a kind of an efficient exploration where we want to efficiently explore and analyze information without getting lost? We'll do all that by creating the search engine. To create the search engine, the first thing we have to do is to create what we call a dashboard in Tableau. Creating dashboard in Tableau means we'll use this very sales analysis sheet to do that. So we'll delve straight up to this icon called New Dashboard. We'll click on it. Now, what's a dashboard? Think of a dashboard as a control center for your data. Just like control panel in our system. To create a dashboard, you see it's blank. After clicking on dashboard, dashboard 1 is blank. The canvas is blank. Something is needed, data. We have our data. What we now need is the visual that we have created on sales analysis sheets. We need it here in our dashboard. So visualizations have to be brought into the dashboard. And it's something I call instruments, because they are like instruments showing this data in an easy to understand way. This a particular visual. I could change it from show me. I could change it and use a tree map. They are now showing this data in an easy to understand way. For example, we have entered cars before. For those of you who have cars, you agree with me that there is what we call a speedometer in a car that shows you how fast you are going. If you drive, you will see it reading, showing you how fast you're going. That's what visualization does. These are the visuals provided here in Tableau and many more. That's just what visualization does as an instrument in a database system, as an instrument in your dashboard. What it does is that it shows your data in an easy to understand way, just like a speedometer in a car shows you how fast you are going. Now, every life aspect have dashboards. If I still talk about car as a concept, car has dashboard. On your car dashboard, you have some gauges. Those gauges are what we call metrics when it comes to analysis. You will have gauges like fuel level, speed, could be temperature. Now, similarly, when it comes to Tableau dashboard, you can display important metrics for every company analysis, organization, or whatever context. That's what you need to do here as an analyst on this control center. Using this context of sales analysis, what do you display on your Tableau dashboard? What you can display here must be important metrics that is relevant, what I call important data points. For instance, in this context, sales is important. If it relates to feedback analysis, customer satisfaction is important. You do that in clear charts, what we call visuals. Now, let's get started. I'll come to my dashboards. Looking towards the left, you will see sales analysis. So this sales analysis sheet will come here, move it, and drop it inside our dashboard pane. The reason why we are doing this is because we want to allow that interaction with our data. But I wouldn't want us to use a tree map for this. Let's instead use what we call our bar is okay, or we use the table visual, which is this. So this is perfect. So we can see here all the items we have listed, from air conditioner to washing machine and all their sales amounts. Now, this is what we call a bird's eye view. That's one thing a dashboard provides. It provides a bird's eye view of your data. It's just like looking at a map to understand where you are and where you are headed. We can now see how this works. Two sides to it, the items, names, and the sales. You know, in your car, you have multiple instruments like speedometer, fuel gauge, and all of that. The same way in Tableau, the dashboard can have various visualizations side by side. That way, you will notice you'll be able to grab different aspects of your data. Maybe we have other visuals we want to bring in, but this is just one. Now that we have done this, how do we create a search engine within Tableau? The next thing you have to do is this. I will come here on my Tableau dashboard, remove this show me by clicking on it. I have a blank space by my right hand. That's where I'm going to drop my search engine I want to create. If you look at this center, you'll see that there are 4 options. The X, this called go to sheets. The X is to remove from your dashboard, to remove this very visual sheet. This is used as a filter, and these more options. I'll click on more options. Then come down, you'll see filter option. You want to create a search engine for items. So you will choose item. The moment you do that, list of items or the list pops up. What do? Right click inside the box, scroll down. You will then see this option called what? Wildcard. I believe you all can see this option called wildcard. Now, come down, you see wildcard match. This wildcard match is the same thing as this asterisk symbol in a database system like the MySQL. What this wildcard stands for is for unknown words, unknown characters. Remember when I wrote this query saying select wildcard asterisk from Federal Ministry database, object browser dot ministry expenditure table. What do I mean by this? I stated this because within this ministry expenditure table, I don't know the exact information I want to retrieve, whether it's only departments or year. Until I know, I can then come and remove it and put what? Departments. Of course, you know, department, and then do what? Execute. Within the database system, it retrieves information for department because I've just replaced the wildcard symbol with department. So whenever you hear the word wildcard, put in Tableau, it stands for unknown characters or words. It's just your way of telling Tableau to be flexible in its search, allowing you to find things even if you don't know all the details about it. So therefore, when you're creating a search engine within Tableau, that's one of the things you must pick is the wildcard match. So come down here and select wildcard match. The moment you do that, you then notice this box pops up. This is the search engine box. Imagine you're searching for a book in your library, but you only remember part of the title. This wildcard we selected will help you from the back end here to find that book through that part of the title you can remember. It does a kind of substitution. It substitutes the unknown part. So you can search for data using a pattern also. Maybe I want to search for items that start with A. I can enter A and it will pull it out because of wildcard instead of just the exact name. No. It could even look into variations. Maybe you're looking for, we decided that let's look for sales data for different products that start with I. I can just come here and type I. And with that wildcard I've already selected, anything that begins with I will pop up. So what I want you all to understand is how this works. Now we have a practical scenario here. We have list of products and we want to find all products that are air conditioner. What will I do? On my search engine, I will come here and type what? Air conditioner. Want to know the sales we have made from air conditioner? Enter. It pulls out air conditioner. Maybe it's a large data set and we're interested in iron. I want to know how much have we made in iron so far. I'll clear it and type in iron. Enter. It gives me information for iron, telling us iron we made 6,463. This is what the search engine does for you within your Tableau. And that's why I said it is useful for everyday scenarios. We have just performed an everyday scenario of sales analysis where we are interested in checking sales data. And we have been able to find information about specific products. This is how to create a search engine in Tableau. If you want to take it back to all products, you come to your search engine, you see an X sign, click on it. It clears it and brings every information afresh. We're interested in oven, we search for oven, enter. And you can move this, you can decide to move it. Okay, if you don't want it here, you can move it to where you want to place it. Maybe you want to place it within, depending on how you want to go about it, you can move it. It's movable. It's movable. So this is where we're going to round up. This is it. And you should know that in Tableau, we use the wildcard match, the card, as a tool to help us search for and filter data based on, could be a particular pattern, depending on the information you're looking for. Even when you don't know all the details, I could come here and say all that starts with A, enter. You can see what it was now moving forward to bring in. D, enter. Because D is found within it. Grinder has D, dishwasher has D, air conditioner has D, blender has D. If I say I, they all have I within them. So please go through this practice and don't forget, practice also doing this based on what we have here. We have done this on our dashboard. See you some other time. Thank you.